I lived in a small town in Westchester County, New York, and I was 15 years old when I decided that I should not do 12th grade of high school. When I was accepted to Washington University at the age of just 16, I flew out for the spring weekend for accepted students. It's warm and there's frisbees flying and there's dogs in the quad, and I think I could be really happy here. The school took a wayward, scared, out of control 16-year-old kid and gave me purpose and gave me motivation and changed the trajectory of my entire life. I did what your typical student would do in the Baskin-Robbins ice cream store. I sampled everything. I was studying modern dance, I was studying Spanish, I studied French, I studied philosophy, history, literature. So I went to them and said, could I work out a new major called comparative arts? And they actually let me do it. And I became the first ever comparative arts major at Washington University. Fast forward 30 years, my son Doug, my second son to attend WashU, he called me and he said, "You're not gonna believe it, I finally picked my major. It's called comparative arts." I was like, "What, are you kidding, Doug? That's my major." I started that major. My favorite professor was Professor Joseph Schreibman. His love of Spanish definitely caused me to have a lifelong love of Spanish. There was a dance teacher named Greg Mayer. She really inspired me to think out of the box. When I got to Washington University, it was all about the professors, and I didn't ever want to let them down. And I was learning how to create presentations that needed to be assessed at a much higher level than anything I'd ever done before. And to this day, that is exactly what I do, first in my TV news career and now as a book publishing professional. I have to make sure that what I'm doing, that the work that I'm doing is as high quality as it could possibly be, but with as much creativity. I am the director of creative development at HarperCollins. You know, that's a job where I have to be creative every day, not because anyone's forcing me, but because I want to be. And Washington University gave me permission to be the most creative thinker that I could be. Is there a particular value in my life that I gained as a student? I would say to keep your mind open to the universe and to always think deeper and think wider, and to stay curious, and to never think you're too old or too young to learn something new and exciting all the time. Washington University is my #1 charitable giving because it's investing in the future. I'll put my money on Washington University any day. I was not only sending in a donation every year, but also trying to give back to the school. I've hosted students at HarperCollins and taken them behind the scenes of book publishing. And so I've really devoted a lot of time and energy, you know, just to be there. Because if you can't mentor young people, what's the point of growing old? I mean, that's the whole point, isn't it? You need to help the next generation be the up and coming future leaders of the world. And so when Marty Riker said we are thinking of doing a publishing concentration in the English department, I was all in. Really, it's a 360-degree experience from being the youngest kid on campus to now being someone who's mentoring kids on campus. It means everything to me to be honored with this award. It just warms my heart to be the one that's on the receiving end of some sort of a kudos from the place that I love so much. It means everything to me.